Good morning and welcome into my space. Hope you're all well. I want to talk about automation today. And no, we're not talking AI or robots. We're talking about other people that are not self-aware, that do things, say things, their words and actions that are on automatic, and they are not self-aware of how that is seen. And how you can tell, even though the words say something different, the actions tell you something, another story. So you've got to be aware of your actions to be able to become aware of other people's actions a little bit, not necessarily all the way. However, if a person is on automatic pilot and they don't understand that you see everything that they do, their actions, their words, their behavior, because they are so wrapped up in their own mind, thinking that they are showing you a different side of themselves. So when a person says, I don't care, I'm going to elaborate. When I'm going to take an example here. I'm going to take a person in a relationship that asks the other, whether it's male, female, it doesn't matter. They ask, do you want me to stay? Do you want me to stay the night? And the answer is, I don't care. You can do whatever you like. That tells you something. That tells you that they actually don't care. But they don't perceive it as that. They perceive it as you are your own individual person. They can make up your mind, but that shows what they're feeling about you. In comparison to someone, we do an option 2 scenario, and someone would ask, do you want me to stay the night? Oh, that'd be great. I really need your company. Because I care about you and I want to be with you. And so there's the difference. And if someone actually says, I don't care, I don't care. When I say, I don't care, I really don't give a shit. So be aware of what comes out from another. It's the same as when you embrace somebody in a hug and they start patting you on the back, right? You can feel the coldness, the I don't care factor, the embrace, and then they go start slapping you on the back. And that's fine if you're in friendship, right? Or family. Yeah, I hope you're all right. But in an intimate relationship with a sexual partner, that will tell you something. That will tell you that there is something missing. And I may have people that disagree here, but that's not what it is. A loving embrace is heartfelt, heaven forbid, heartfelt. And even though a couple may have drifted apart slightly due to whatever circumstance, you don't know, there is still a connection. But squeezing somebody hard in pretense to show affection and then start slapping them on the back, that's something completely different. I'm sorry. You can't put that past me. Well, seriously. That is someone who tries to give an impression of care but really fail miserably. And so it goes both ways. Whether you're a man or a woman and your girlfriend goes, oh, buddy, yeah, whatever, buddy. You've got to be aware. And so the question remains, is this a loving relationship or is it something else? Is it flatmates with benefits? Oh, no. One should never believe or put up with suffering to receive love. If a person think that they want to receive love and care and nurture and uplifting and intimacy and passion, and they give nothing back, then you've got to be very mindful of where that's going. And you should never have to put up with that. I don't care, because that breaks someone's heart. When you give, it's like feedback. Sometimes there's a saying, there's a sounding board, right? We all have to have a sounding board at some point. And if that sounding board is completely dead, there's nothing there, there's no whatever, I don't give a shit, can I go now type scenario, and there is no effort, low effort, and there's no feedback, there's no sounding board coming back at you. It's the same with love. It's the same with affection. If you don't get affection back, if you reach for somebody and that somebody never reaches back, you've got to look at that and see, well, how does that make me feel? Empty? Confused? Does it make me feel loved? I don't think so. Does it start to question your value? Of course it does. Then people start to question themselves is this all I'm worth? Maybe so. And stay in such a relationship of convenience, of low effort, of self-centeredness from one side, a one-sided relationship where one gives constantly of myself, of oneself. Yes, I have done that too. Hence I sort of know what I'm talking about. I have given of myself in a one-sided relationship with someone who's dragged all of my energy out. And if we're going to pick on me now, confusion, isn't it supposed to be about love? Isn't it supposed to be about care and wanting to be with somebody and wanting to be proud of that person that walks next to you and to be held and supported mentally and physically, not to be forgotten about in the heat of the moment. And so I'm sure I'm not the only one who has then delved into the thought process of, is this all I'm worth? Because I know my mother went through the same thing. And it's interesting that if you're not strong enough to know your self-worth, then it's easy to stay in such a relationship and endure the breadcrumbs that's been sprinkled for you to not leave. I think that's enough. That's a thought process. That's a huge thought process that one needs to think about. So next time you're with your intimate partner or a girlfriend that you've been dating for a week or 2 or 3 months, have a look at his or her behaviour, their effort put into a relationship, their care and support and nurture and intimacy, what they do in the bedroom. Look at everything, because most of the time people are on automatic pilot and they are not aware. They think by squeezing you a little bit, that's enough. I've shown my care. I've shown my care. They will think I love them, or at least I care for them. But that's not it. So have a look. You might find something that you don't want. Talk to you soon.